Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to the Big Dave and Clo Show.
I'm pretty sure we're having sex.
Oh, so tear that thing up. Right there, fist it.
How do I make this bigger?
At first, they just started blowing it.
No, she's got to hold that in her mouth.
Last night, this guy pinned me down and he raped me.
I don't understand.
I can't do anything with people shoving in my face.
And now, the Big Dave and Clo Show.
Welcome to the Big Dave and Clo Show. It is Thursday night. Hell, I don't even know what the date. What is the date anyway? Anybody know? The 20th. It is. All right, good. It's the 20th then. Very good. Yeah, you can go. It's good. It's on.
I concur.
Good to have you here, Clo.
September 20th, yeah. Right on, brother.
Yeah, we got our Tennessee honey rocking out today, man. The high quality shit today.
I know. Check it out. You don't have the what was it? We were off last week, but the week before that, no, you had the Uniti
Lambrusco.
Yeah, I can't quite say it like that.
It's good shit, man. I mean, it's good for our cheap red wine. Incredible stuff on the show today. We're going to be doing something a little different. I guess, we're always doing something different. I mean, you never really can predict what's going to happen on the show. Not even we can predict what's going to happen on the show.
Because we don't really know what's going to happen on the show.
Exactly.
So
it makes it wonderful. But I tell you what, I got some stuff today. We're actually going to be doing some news talk today.
News talk.
I know it sounds boring, but you never know what you're going to get when you open up us talking about world events.
Okay, when you said that text message, that's all that you said. You said, "Hey, we're gonna be doing news talk today," and I'm like, "Okay, I thought that was just a joke."
No,
Really,
actually,
seriously.
The reason why is because something really caught my attention this week. There's like 2 or 3 things, and they all kind of combined together, and I figured it was an omen or something that maybe I was supposed to talk about this week. Or it was it started with the whole thing over in what is it, Pakistan or Afghanistan?
In Libya.
No, that about the guy who made the YouTube video and everybody got pissed off because it was making Muhammad look bad.
No, it was. I think it was in Libya, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen the news this week at all either. I haven't seen anything. So yeah. So
in the meantime,
catch me up.
I'm on a diet.
You're on a diet?
Yes.
Okay.
Figured we'd start the show off today talking about my diet.
Okay. For those that don't know, Dave is. Do you want to say your weight? How much is your weight, or about?
I never said I was going to say my weight.
Well, this is important for any bigger folk out there looking to lose weight.
I just think you're an ass.
Well, I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just stating the facts. Could you imagine if Mel was here?
It's probably a good thing she's here, and she'll probably be calling in too. So don't let her through.
Let her through.
No, I've decided not to let her through.
You gotta let her through.
I don't want to talk to Mel about my diet. That's the last person I want to talk to about my diet because she's just going to make me feel like a fat ass, even though I've been doing really well this week. I walked a mile yesterday.
Really?
A whole mile.
That is awesome. No, that is really good. That is honestly, that's really, really good. Considering
I was going to die.
Well, at what time? What time did you do this big walk?
Like at 2 in the afternoon.
All right, when it's nice and warm outside, that's good.
Don't let her through. I know she's on the phone. I appreciate that.
You gotta let her through.
Don't let her through, please, for the love of God. No, Jeff. Balls deep, I swear to God. Oh, dear God. Just the sound of her voice makes me cringe.
All right, Mel, you got to start over because I couldn't hear you.
What did she say?
Did you
I'm not even worried
wake
about
up from a nap and dream that you were walking?
Thanks a lot.
I can't see your fat ass walking anywhere.
You know what?
Except to the fridge.
You know what, bitch? It wasn't too long ago that you were your fat ass yourself, so back off.
Yeah, but I did something about it.
Yeah, well, what do you think I'm doing here? Huh? And I didn't ask anybody. Nobody's going to be able to tell me, Big Dave, go on a diet, lose some weight. Because if they do that, then I'm just going to go have a burger and a donut.
Yeah, it's...
Do you have anything important to say? Because I'm going to move on if not.
Oh, yeah. And by the way,
Can
welcome.
we hang up on her now?
Welcome, Mel, on the phone.
Hi.
What's up, girl?
I'm sorry I can't be there right now, but there's a few things that
This
are
is
going
3
on,
weeks in a row.
Well...
Well, you had the nerve to call. I'm going to have the nerve to talk to you about it. What's going on? What's going on?
I'm packing right now.
Packing for what? Are you going on a long trip?
To another apartment.
Okay, and what? Okay, so what does that have to do with our show?
It has to do with the fact that I'm not taking my husband with me. So.
Oh, that's great. Is this too personal?
One of those things. Okay.
Is this inappropriate?
We'll just move back to.
Let's go back to your husband.
To Dave's diet.
No, let's go back to your husband. What happened?
I've decided that I'm no longer going to be with him, and I'm moving to another apartment, and am officially on the market, I guess.
So you're on the market? What do you mean, like a little piggy mark on the market, or?
Well, no, I'm not looking at dating anybody or anything like that, but I'm separated.
So you're willing to try some new things now?
Yeah, you're not ever going to be in the picture. Ever.
I was really hoping I might be able to go somewhere with that one. Okay.
Oh, no. I'd rather screw balls deep, and that's really bad.
God, really?
That's really bad. Did you just hear that, balls deep? Now she's making fun of you, too. You better grab that microphone and get this bitch in line. Yeah, you got to turn it on first.
Yeah, maybe my finger slips and it does hang up. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it might happen. It's possible.
Accidents happen.
Bitch, I got to come back at some point.
Yeah, so are you planning on being back next week or what?
Yes. It's
All right.
just at the moment, there are just some things I need to get sorted.
Well,
so
I'm sorry to hear that that's happening. I really am, on a serious note.
why?
Well, I just am, because I hate to see relationships fall apart. I mean, is there something, don't you understand that? Isn't that bad? It's a bad thing,
hasn't
right?
fallen apart. I'm just moving out.
Oh, okay, and that's not a relationship falling apart?
Well, you can call it what you want.
Well, it's, when it happens to people, you usually say, I'm sorry or whatever, that, it sucks that it happens.
That's what I try to do, yeah.
But
and she's like, it's Mel. I mean, she's like,
what the deal is,
why?
though, not most of the time, but a lot of times, it's a good thing. You know what I mean? They're always like, oh, I'm sorry I got a divorce. They're like, I'm not saying this is Mel's situation, but I've heard it a lot recently with other friends. They go, you know what? Oh my God, you kidding me? Don't apologize. It's the best thing ever happened to me. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just leave it alone. So anyway, I'm on a diet, and the diet's working well. I'm eating half of what I normally was, and I'm walking, and I'm doing about a mile every other day.
Well, that's a good start. That's a really good start.
Do you have like an applause
you know what I mean?
button over there or anything like that, Jeff? No? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't know how long this will last, but I'm going to keep it up for a while until I feel better.
Well, it's not a diet. Don't think about it as a diet.
I don't think about it as a diet.
It's a lifestyle change is what you need to do.
Yeah, it's like when I turned gay. Nothing different about it. Did I say that out loud?
I think you did.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just waiting for Mel to chime in.
I'm kidding, people.
I'm just trying to grasp the whole turning gay, because I'm pretty sure we established that you were bisexual at some point.
I've never said look, I didn't want to go into the scene. It was just a joke. It was supposed to hit it, quit it, and move on. So you're going to be back next week, right?
Yes.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to stay on the phone all day long, or what?
Well, it's up to you if you want me.
I would rather hear music in the background,
God, no.
honestly.
If you would like me to stay on the phone, then I will be on the phone. If not, then I can go. Either which way.
What do you think, Lo? I don't know. I'd rather hear music in the background.
You know what? It's up to you, Dave.
Hang up.
It's your show, remember?
Hang up on the bitch.
Big Dave and Clo Show.
Just hang up on her.
It won't
let you hang up?
Like I said, I've got to be back
Jesus.
at some point.
Thanks a lot,
so
Jeff.
I will beat you when I get back.
Now we're stuck with her all day long.
Yeah, you gotta come back because I need my didgeridoo painted.
Yes.
Yes.
I told you I would do that. So that will give me something to concentrate on.
What's
Yeah.
your didgeridoo?
She's gonna paint my didgeridoo.
What's a didgeridoo?
It's a big wooden pole that you blow in.
So you and Chloe got a thing going? I don't know about. You're blowing on his pole now?
No, Chloe did me a favour, so I told him that I would paint his didgeridoo.
Yes, you've ever seen a didgeridoo?
No, I've never seen a didgeridoo.
I've got a rather big didgeridoo. I just need it painted. It makes a horrifically cool sound.
It's playing right now, so I need to get my hands on it. And
Once again, I have a whole entire show lined up, and we're just way the fuck off already. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about this. What fucking didgeridoo? Did I say that twice already? See? All right, you guys are getting me lined. You getting me riled up and ready for this.
Yeah, too. I'll bring my didgeridoo next week.
All right, good. Bring your didgeridoo. Set it on the table.
Have you learned how to blow into it yet, Chloe?
I have not really learned successfully how to blow into the didgeridoo.
Let's learn how to blow didgeridoos later. All right. Let's get into something here. I want to talk to you. So there you go. The diet done. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Okay. But
How much have you lost?
I don't know. I'm not keeping track of that right now.
Well, what's the point then?
Don't worry about it. I have my own system. My system works great.
I thought the point of being on a diet was to lose
She
weight.
never shuts
and then
up.
You know
Just
the
keeps
success
going
of that
and
diet
going.
when you actually
Blah,
track
blah,
how
blah,
much
blah,
you lose.
blah.
Yeah, because here's what's going to happen with your lifestyle change. Quit calling it a diet. Diet's an evil word.
Are we done?
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, you're going to have your support from certain people. Then you're going
I have to
then,
hang up on her so I can play this thing.
and then you're going to have like
All
people
right.
that
We'll you call back after this thing's over with, okay?
What?
I gotta play this thing on my computer and I can't play it with you on the phone. Trust me.
Suck.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll call back later.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I want to get into this story. Okay. The first of all, you guys have probably heard about the whole thing going on over there overseas because of the stupid YouTube video and so on and so forth. Let me get this thing on here. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. Hit this right over here. All right, go ahead.
Slick. There you go.
Now this is a 5 minute and 34-second audio. So I just want you guys basically just to kind of listen for a minute. I'm gonna take a quick break here while you're listening. Right after this audio, we're gonna come back. Okay.
Cool. Asia last week, when violent protests targeted U.S. diplomatic missions. What was the provocation? A 14-minute.
Now I know it may get boring here in just a couple of minutes, so just hang loose, people. Just hang loose.
But that was deliberately provocative and denigrated the Prophet Muhammad, depicting him as a degenerate, as a womanizer, and a pedophile. It all raises very uncomfortable
She just
questions
said pedophile.
about defending the
Okay.
freedom of expression and the right to artistic expression, while also crossing that fine line between inciting religious hatred. While the violence, the injuries, and even deaths were inexcusable, these tensions come at a time when the Muslim world still feels under cultural siege by the U.S.
Now this is Samantha Rusty. Is that her name?
No.
Yeah, it's Samantha. It's
Quastina Al-Dubur.
Oh, okay.
That's reporting.
All right.
Something like that.
Great. Okay. Well,
So what's going on? What's going on? You tell me, because I don't really know. I just heard this YouTube video. Actually, a short-length film has caused mass hysteria over there, and it's people are killing our people, and people are just going and rioting and going crazy.
right. Okay. Well, here's some more of it.
extremist provocateurs in the Muslim world as well. Joining me now to talk about the
Jesus. Why is it everywhere I go there's not a good internet connection?
Are you sure it's not your computer?
No, I even did it on his damn crap. And every time I do so, I try to look smart. It didn't find it home. I hate having to read. Suck at reading. Damn it.
Suck it up and read it, man.
In the last week, violent protests spread across Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, countries across the Middle East. Here, let me make sure this is on pause. Yeah, okay, it's on pause. Good. I don't want her to start talking here in a second and piss me off even more. The provocation of a 14-minute trailer posted on YouTube called Innocence of Muslims, a low-budget film depicting the Prophet Muhammad. Here, let me turn my music back on because I'm getting tired of hearing my own voice. Okay, there we go. It's on. It raised uncomfortable questions about the fine line between defending the freedom of creative expression and the inciting religious hatred. While the violence, the injuries, and even the deaths were inexcusable, these tensions come at a time when the Muslim world feels itself under cultural siege by the United States and the West as well. Now, I'm trying to find the place to start in my mind where I can go into all the things that I'm wanting to go into. So I'm just going to go over here.
Here's what I'm wondering about this thing is, okay, this caused obviously a big uproar. You know, the person that made it just wanted to, you know, whatever, if he wanted to make fun of, if he wanted to do something like satirical or whatever, that's one thing. But I don't think he ever would have done this if he thought, you know, all this was going to happen. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe he did, though. But that's the whole point.
I think
maybe
he may have been expecting an uproar, but I don't know. I don't know anything about the person that did it, but I don't think that he anticipated all this stuff.
It's created such a big issue around there that an ad was created marked by the USNBC seal. Advertisements condemning the anti-Islam video. Clinton was on it. Bill Clinton did the advertisement.
What? Who?
Bill Clinton. Yeah, it was an it was an Islamic ad from the U.S. Embassy over there. All right, and it had the U.S. Embassy seal on it. It's playing on all the televisions over there right now. Clinton stating, that they totally disagree with everything about the video and it doesn't support the opinions of the United States and blah blah blah. Okay.
So basically, he's he doesn't like it, and he's blaming the person that made it for everything, right? So, I think in that regard, it's for everybody who has the hatred. Now they have an excuse. Going, you know what? Your own people hate it now, and so it's okay for us to do all this rioting and all this killing and stuff.
Oh, I lost you.
You know what I mean? Since they basically, Bill Clinton or whatever, I'm just kind of following what you're saying. Since Bill and Clinton has said that we don't agree with all this stuff, and they're basically blaming the filmmaker, right?
Right.
So that's almost like giving them an excuse to like keep rioting. Going, okay, well your leader doesn't agree with it, so we're just going to keep on rioting.
You know, I never
along.
even thought about it that way, but you have a really good point right there, Clo. I never really thought about that as even an issue, but you're right. I guess. In some ways that they can find it like a green light to continue what they're doing already, which is even more disturbing now that I think about it.
Yeah, I did not hear the the Clinton thing, but I'm just kind of going by what I've kind of heard and from what you're saying.
Okay, well, my point here is that we are situated right now in a country and in a world where our opinions are not as safe as they once were. Our freedom of speech is not as safe as it once was. And I see all these people over here in these third world countries, it's almost like they have do they even have football over there or anything like that? Football or do they throw a little
play a street ball or something?
Street ball,
I don't know. I have no
hack
idea.
a sack, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. Like frisbee golf,
right? I mean, do they have like a national? Yeah, do they have like a national sport besides blowing shit up? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, do they?
I have no idea. I just know that
it's probably a gun club of some kind. I'm sure.
I have no idea what goes on in Libya and
anything,
Egypt
Jeff?
Anything.
I would just imagine soccer. That's
the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
what do you think?
That's Mexico, man.
What do you think of European countries? You think soccer?
Right. Well, no.
I'm sorry, football.
Yeah.
Football.
But it's not just Mexico. It's
Lambrusco.
It's well. I mean, it's really popular everywhere but the United States. I mean, soccer is the biggest sport worldwide.
It's because it's a really gay sport.
Well, but it's also the cheapest sport. All you need is a ball, and you can play.
Hold on, everybody be quiet a second. Do you hear that? That ringing noise?
Yeah, I think it's Jeff's computer.
Oh.
Yeah. He's overheating. He has an HP, that's why.
I was worried. I thought it was all in my head. Okay. So, my point is, these guys over here, it's like their religion is their national team, So whenever somebody makes fun of it, they get this excited about it, where they go around and burn flags and want to kill people, I mean, that's the only way I can kind of put the two together to compare, how excited we get as Americans about something and how excited they get about something, because the education is so behind in that country.
They're just not open to certain things. And here's another thing too. I wonder.
But that's a lack of education, though. That's why. And
knowledge and everything else. But the thing, what I'm wondering is okay. All these people are on the streets. They're all rioting and they're all going crazy. How many of them have actually seen the video? I personally believe you can't be offended unless you see or hear something yourself.
Exactly, and I'm sure because their lack of education and their dependency on being followers. Because that's what the majority of these people are, is followers in that country. They just simply go out there because there's a cause to be thrown. Hey, we get to burn a flag today. That sounds like fun. I don't have anything else to do. There's not a football game on or anything.
But also, too, it's a game of telephone. It's like one person will see it, start spreading the word.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, everybody in Libya is being killed in this video. You know what I mean? It just gets way worse.
Mohammed, he killed your sister in the video. He cut her head off. Yeah. Let's go burn flag. Okay, sure. Sorry, that was really bad accent, but it was like half Indian, half American Indian. Okay. Anyway, so the point is where are we at? Where are we at in this fight? So
I think what you're saying is that they need a football team.
Maybe they need some kind of football team.
That's what
some
I'm
kind of
gathering from what you're
national
saying.
team that they can root for. You know, are they allowed in the Olympics? Or are we scared they're going to blow something up?
Yeah, I think they were in it this past year.
They do?
I think they were.
Really?
I don't know. There's so many countries.
Libya,
I don't know.
Pakistan.
Well, maybe they had a, you know, I mean, I don't know. I can imagine, you know, it's stuff that's free running. They probably had a, you know, a couple of runners in the runners and stuff.
You know, I was
assume,
talking.
I don't know.
I was talking to a guy who just came back from overseas in Afghanistan. We were having this conversation over a drink the other night, and he was explaining to me, you know, that the education is so, you know, minuscule out there. They are so far behind the Western world that it's going to take us several decades to even get them caught up to where we are right now, of as far as free thought and having the ability to have their own opinion without somebody wanting to chop their head off or blow their car up. You know, I mean, we're talking brothers and kin when they get. It's like a what is that feud? The Hatfields and McCoys. It's like the whole entire country's that way. They'll shoot your ass for no reason whatsoever because their idea of life is so they don't give a shit. They really don't care about human life. It's about death and dying with dignity to them.
But, I mean, are we really any different with... I mean, look at how many homicides there are every year in the United States. Like, you know, I think we're number one, if not in, like, the top 5. I mean, so you think about how many people throughout the United States that get killed every day because of gang violence, drug-related, you know... They
just get killed publicly.
Okay.
Right.
In a different way.
I mean, but we're just so desensitized to it that... And also, you know, no one hears about it because it's so everything in the United States is so localized. Is, you know, I only care about what's going on in the DFW area.
In my state, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't care that some gangbanger up in Chicago, you know, got killed. You know, it was maybe about a month ago. Chicago had its bloodiest weekend ever. Like over 10 people were murdered because of gang violence.
And it barely even made the news.
Yeah, CNN was just like, yeah, and Chicago had a really bloody weekend. Did you guys hear about Mitt Romney? I mean, just brushed right over it. So
I'm going to have to say you got a really good point there. But it still goes back to what? Look at the people who are creating this violence in America. And I'm getting ready to make the comparison between these third world countries and their education and their views and opinions on things that are just absolutely ridiculous versus our country.
Well, because
and a lot of people that we have in this country the same way. It all goes back to one thing, right, Clo? Education.
Well, and also too, they just have different beliefs, and you know what I mean. And so whenever you have different beliefs running around within your own country, that causes their own little civil war, and it gets really bloody and really bad. Because over here, you can say that. I don't think it's necessarily a lack of education. I think it's just they just don't think
a cultural difference.
Think that way that we do. There's no democracy, and you know people can't speak up. They can't say what they want to say. If they disagree with something that they potentially get killed.
Yeah, but Chloe, I totally disagree with you. They're letting them go out on the streets whenever they're burning flags. Oh, if it's an American flag, go ahead and let them have some fun today.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you not.
Go out there and blow some shit up, and let's just call it the Americans. We're pissed off at them. That's okay to get mad about. But the moment they say anything about their own damn country, yeah, somebody's going to get their head blown off.
Well, yeah, and also too, not everyone agrees over there with burning the flag. You know what I mean? There are people that just want to live normal lives. That, for instance, own a nail salon. You know what I mean? There's a nail salon owner in Libya that she just like, I'm trying to live a normal life. She goes, I don't really support everything that's going on here in Libya. You know what I mean? But I really can't say what I feel and what's going on without fear of getting into someone that doesn't agree with her, whether it be the government or an individual or a group.
This is true. This guy that I was talking to, who was a Marine, just came back, was talking about the problem they have over there with a lot of the good people, is that the what do they call themselves? The Taliban will come in and say, look, if you do not fight for us, we'll kill your family, or we'll kill you, or something like that, and they force them into going out and fighting against the Americans and keeping the war going that way, because they're losing so many, because their cause is in vain. Anybody nowadays who has half a brain, even those with little education, know that if my religion believes that And I'm not talking about the Muslim religion. I'm talking about the extremists who've taken the Muslim religion and twisted it into some evil, effed up bullshit that makes no sense at all. Where, oh, let's just go kill all the Americans and it'll all make sense now. Okay, that's when you say to yourself, maybe I shouldn't be in that religion. Okay, even a person with little education knows the difference between right and wrong when it comes to the moral and ethical feelings that you have as far as emotions go.
You know what? I don't think that they do. You would seem it would be, you would think it would be inherent, but once they're followers of of someone or something, they can't think any other way. You know what I mean? So they're thinking. It's even hard to think in that kind of way about morals and things like that. But once again, there's people in this country that have zero morals and just not necessarily if they follow anybody, but they follow themselves and they do totally the wrong thing.
Tell her to call back.
Mel, call back if you're listening.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Good of you told her just to call back.
Thank you, Balls Deep. I appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, we're. I agree with you to an extent. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, it's a matter of them being raised on this and believing this because that's just how they are.
It's just
from a little tiny child, they've been told to hate this and shoot that and blow up this, and
they don't know anything else. And it's really sad because it's you think someone would step up in higher authority and go, hey, this is not the right way to do it, but there hasn't been because it's all it's just the wrong kind of leadership.
Well, here's what's disturbing. You were just talking about America and how we have a lot of the same sort of things going on within our country as well. I started doing some comparisons between some of the things that are still going on in the third world country versus our country, and you know what? We still have some of the same bullshit going on in our country as they got going on over there. The education or the lack of knowledge of the real world has still kept itself from being seen even by some who live here in America.
And because I think over there it's prohibited. You know what I mean? Because in a lot of countries, the government purposely locks down the internet, doesn't allow any TV, any sort of communication, and that's just it's like why? Why don't you let the world know what else is going on in the world? And you know what I mean? And
do you think it would make a difference? I mean, with some of these guys, do you really think it would make a difference for them to know what the hell was going on in the world?
I think it would. You know what I mean? If it were allowed.
Now, hold on a minute. Let's think about this a minute, because these guys who were sent to America to bomb the World Trade Center, okay, to fly their damn airplanes, and they had a chance to live here for a long time and realize what the hell was going on. They still chose to be.
You're talking about the extremists, right?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Get Mel back on. That's cool. And then, but yeah, absolutely. It's just they've been almost pretty much brainwashed.
Yeah, she's on right now. She's listening to us. You there, Mel? Right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, she's listening to us. She's just listening right now.
I mean, they've been conditioned that way though, and brought up that way. They've been brought up to hate other cultures that aren't theirs. So when you have parents that raise their kids to hate, it's a vicious cycle. So unfortunately, you do get the extremists that are programmed that way, whether it be from the government or from their parents, and unfortunately, it continues on.
Well, the point that I'm trying to make today is not only to bring up this story, because I find it a very fascinating story that a YouTube video would create such havoc in a country that people are dying and screaming in the streets for vengeance, kill America. It's a stupid YouTube video, 14 minutes long, and it wasn't even worth watching. I mean, it was just bad quality.
It's about the religion. It's about opening up and blowing the lid off a lot of the things that are going on there, and a lot of people got offended by it and got upset by it.
Exactly. And you know what I've learned, Mel, about people who get offended very easily about a certain subject that they feel strongly about? I've found that the people who get offended easily about a certain subject that they feel strongly about have a problem somewhere in their beliefs that make them feel they have a reason to defend it. Okay? They're not secure in whatever it is that they believe in some way. That goes, it's like I know that I am a good singer. I don't need somebody to tell me I'm a good singer. And I don't care if somebody comes up and goes, you suck at doing this. It's not going to hurt my feelings because I'm secure. And I'll go and allow them to have their opinion. Fine. Okay. Good.
No, I think you missed the point, though. For them, it's like a personal attack. Like, if someone was to say to me, I'm a bad mother, oh, bitch, I'm going to throw down. Because you don't,
do you feel insecure about
attack.
your mothering, or what? Why would you throw down if somebody had an opinion about your mothering?
Because it's a personal attack. You don't know me. You don't know just because you've...
Why allow it to get you upset, Mel? Why allow it to get you upset? Why ruin your day over some dumbass's opinion about what you do in your personal home?
Because it's that invasion of you and what your beliefs are.
Can't you walk away? Can't you walk away knowing? Can't you
walk? But I'll be
walk?
damned if someone's going to tell me that I'm not.
Mel, can't you just walk away knowing that you are a good mother without having to start a fight with somebody who's half your intelligence?
Hell no.
See, then maybe there's an insecurity there somewhere. I'm sorry,
No,
but I'm going to have to believe that. Do you need approval to know that you're a good mother in order to feel good about that?
Well, no, but like I said, it's a personal attack.
Yeah, because what it was because everyone's got has their button. You know what I mean? And so certain things may not upset someone, other things may upset others. You know what I mean?
Okay, point taken.
For instance, I want to, and I allow myself to get angry whenever people burn the flag or desecrate it or whatever. I eventually brush it off, but I do get upset.
But you wouldn't get so upset to the point where you'd go out into the streets, Mel, and burn flags and go around killing people if somebody said that about your mothering, right?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
I'd
there's a common
beat
sense.
the shit out of them, but, I'd stop before they started twitching.
Right. Well, that's probably a good thing. Well, when I was going through all of this, I ran across another story which is eerily similar, yet in a different way. First of all, it happened in Tennessee. Tennessee's officials defended the program prayer ritual at Neyland Stadium, which has drawn protests from one group, according to the Knoxville News Sentinel, in response to a letter from the Freedom of Religion Foundation urging Tennessee to stop its ritual of pregame prayer. University of Tennessee officials ruled there is no violation of the U.S. Constitution with the invocation. The Freedom of Religion Foundation argues it should be discontinued on the principle of separation of church and state. So, do we all in this room see the similarities? It may not be as crazy as going out into the streets and burning flags and killing people, but we still have people in America who get their asses in a tight wad because of something that they see that other people believe, and they want them to stop. Aren't we to the point yet in America where we can say to ourselves, everybody has their opinion, can we just let them have it? Can we just let them be who they are? And stop trying to say, I want you to be who I want you to be. I want you to be who I want you to be. And that's the reason why we have so many people, those one or two different, quote, groups, that will come in and screw it up for the rest of the nation and the rest of the world with their stupid ideals and think they got to push it on everybody else's. Who's worse, Mel? The person pushing the prayer before the game, or the person pushing it that it's not supposed to happen?
The person pushing that it's not supposed to happen, because to each their own. But I don't see them bitching and complaining and not spending money, because on the money it has "In God We Trust."
You're damn right.
It's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Whatever
but
floats
what it
your
is
boat and makes you sleep at night.
But also too, it's legal for that group.
It is legal for that group.
For the group to bitch and gripe and complain and do whatever. It's it sucks, but
we accept that. Okay, the difference is we're listening to them.
What they are for the people that are doing the prayer before the group, the football game. Like, it's your opinion. Big bloody deal. Like, what you do and who you pray to and who you don't shouldn't come into anybody else's beliefs, and it shouldn't impact anybody else's life.
Right. I mean, if there's that many people on the football team that all sit around and go, hey, yeah, we're totally cool with this idea. Or even maybe there's some on the team that go, I don't really believe in God, but you know what? I think it gives us good luck on the field. Let's go. I'm cool with it. You know, if they all agree to do it, then who are we to step in and go, I think that's wrong. I don't want anybody loving Jesus in this country. I mean, I don't care one way or the other. What I do care about is our freedoms, and I'm sick and tired of these sorry tight-ass bastards and coming in and taking our freedoms away because they talk to some congressman, and since nobody else talks to a congressman because they're not effing crazy, he listens to that one person, and shit gets changed that we don't like.
Well, I know, but you know, it's like then people need to push, you know what I mean, to change all the regulation and rules or whatever in regards to separation between church and state. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, is Tennessee? You said it's a university in Tennessee? Which one is it? A private university or is it public or whatever?
Tennessee, Chattanooga. It's university.
Chattanooga. It's in Chattanooga, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that just amazes me. Yeah, and it's like I mean, like I go both ways on it. It just really sucks that that it's there. It's just like, why can't you just during that 1 minute just do something else? You know, smoke a cigarette. Just something.
Exactly. Well, what all have we lost?
Put your teeth back in, like something.
Yeah, look.
I mean, don't encroach on other people's civil liberties just because you don't believe. Like, if you don't, then fine. Whatever. But
in
if
Australia,
you do, and your kids do, then shut up and let the kids do it.
Mel, in Australia, do you have these issues of freedom there? Is Australia a democratic nation?
No, we're still governed by the British.
Oh, okay. The British
are
coming.
What's the primary religion in Australia?
Catholic.
Catholic. Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, so do you guys have pretty much all the rights that Americans have? What are some of the rights that differ there, and what are some of the things you like about America versus over there?
Well, no, I prefer Australia to here because you're forced to vote. You're forced to have a say in what's going on. So if you want to bitch and complain about who is actually in office, then you at least made an attempt to put that person or someone else in office. So don't sit on your high horse and bitch and complain that there's someone in office that you didn't even flip and vote.
So that is a democratic nation.
Voting for me is a big thing. It really is. If you don't vote back in Australia, you get put on what's called the electoral roll when you turn 16, and you have to vote when you turn 18. If you don't, then you'll get a fine in the mail. You've got to go into the voting booth, get your name marked off, you show your ID, all that kind of stuff. If you don't vote, then you'll get a fine in the mail of $150. If you don't pay that fine, then you'll sit your happy little ass in jail for a couple of days.
Okay, so
all it is $150. I can imagine there's certain people that are there. Okay, I'll just pay $150. Does it go on your quote unquote record?
Yes.
So is it? Are you kind of scoffed at? Is it kind of like a misdemeanor over here? It's like, oh, you have something on your record, you can't get hired.
Yeah, it's like a misdemeanor.
Wow. Would that be crazy if you went somewhere? Yeah, I can imagine that in America, going somewhere and going, you know what? We pulled up your record and you didn't vote, so we can't hire you.
People over here say that it's ridiculous because it's encroaching on their rights and of being an American citizen and blah. But they're quite within their rights to bitch and complain about who's the president and what the laws are and stuff like that, but they don't do anything to stand up and actually have a voice in it.
No, I'm going to absolutely...
The one thing I see clear of is politics because it pisses me off no end.
You know, Mel, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, I'm looking at our country, and I'm going to be straight up with you. I don't vote. I'm not proud of it, but I don't vote. But I have my reasons for not voting as well.
But you're going to have your opinion on who's in office.
I don't, actually. I stopped having my opinion after Reagan. Okay? I stopped having my opinion after Reagan. About the time that I was ready to vote, I realized one thing, that every person we put in office is full of shit. And it doesn't really matter who I vote for. The person coming up is going to be full of shit. That's pretty much what we got right now. We've got a choice between Obama, full of shit, or Romney, full of shit. All right, so who are we going to vote for? Somebody full of shit. So do I want to vote? Hell no. Let the stupid asses vote for him. I'm sorry, that may be very un-American to me, but that's just how I feel. I'm that upset about where our country's gone, with political versus what needs to be done.
Yeah, but
We're
what
tired of the
problem
politics.
Is that the man in office cops the flack for the past man's mistakes. Like, and that's what irritates the crap out of me. They want to bitch and complain about what he did and what he's doing and, you know, how he hasn't changed anything and he's made this country worse and blah, blah, blah. He's trying to fix other people's screw-ups.
I totally agree.
He's going to cop the flack for it. So it's
Well,
like...
you know,
It's almost just like it's too late. No matter who you put in there, it's going to.
It really is. I mean, right now we're looking at 2 or 3 decades of really incredible presidents to even make it happen, and that's if we get rid of the politics today.
Well, the best president, and in my opinion, I'm sorry, was Clinton. But, you know, he got thrown out of office for screwing some intern with a stogie.
I would say financially, I totally agree with you on that. World relations, I totally agree with you on that. Now, when it comes to his personal life, I totally disagree with.
She spooged on it. Like, really?
Yeah, well,
You know, I don't really care about that. It's like, you know what you do on the side, whatever. Yeah, you know what, it's not really that cool.
And she was a fat, ugly bitch too.
Yeah, she was. And I mean, like...
That was like a size 18 blue dress, man.
He was one of the most powerful men in the world. Like, of course, and he's a man. Men are going to have affairs. I'm sorry, but they are.
Well, especially when you're married, to a lesbian. I mean, come on.
It's just the way that it is. Like, he's a man. I mean, all men cheat. He just got caught.
So I agree with you. The politics of it all, Mel, I agree. I can't believe I'm agreeing with her, but I do. It doesn't happen very often.
Vote. I'm not allowed to vote.
Well, it's not really a matter, to me, it's not, what we're talking about isn't a matter of voting, it's a matter of freedoms. And the freedoms that we have, we had many people fight hard for those freedoms. And it just amazes me sometimes, and this is what really irritates me, this is my hot button, that we'll have people in office who take every single complaint so damn seriously. You know, it's going to happen. You're not going to please everybody, but you got to have a point where you turn around and you go, I'm going to have some common damn sense about this. Which one do I want to do? Do I want to cater to the ones who sit around and bitch and complain all day long about mama did this or so-and-so did that or that group talked funny about ho-ho or blah, blah, blah? Or do I want to listen to somebody over here who's just trying to live their life and have their own beliefs and use the freedoms that we've given them? To me, it's common damn sense.
Well, a lot of people use some of those freedoms unsensibly, though. You know?
But there comes common sense again. We should know the difference.
You know,
but people in this country are lacking in common sense. A lot of people in this country are lacking in common sense. A lot of people in this country take what we have here for granted. So, you know, it's like, why should they even think twice about whether they're encroaching on someone else's civil liberties or someone else's rights when they don't give a crap about their own?
And also, too, I think what Dave was trying to say is that somebody needs to just kind of step up and say, you know what? Okay, I understand you have freedoms, but come on.
Exactly.
And it's kind of you know, it's kind of telling me, you know what? That's not the way it is. You know what? And how about you go and you learn? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you know what makes, you know, if you do something that's kind of screwed up and kind of against the general moralistic, you know, feel of America and what it stands for and everything. You know what? First of all, tell me why you feel the way that you feel. Okay, all right, and then chances are you're going to be debunked. You know what I mean? Very easily. You know what I mean? You believe this way and you don't have any knowledge of why you are this way.
Exactly. You see it all the time. You see it all the time.
No valid argument.
Well, there you go. I mean, I want to get that out of my system because it's been irritating the hell out of me all week long, thinking about how I'm so disappointed right now in some of the ways that our country is going. And also, you know, I was kind of... I worked at a certain place this week where somebody complained about something that I did, and I didn't take it seriously at all because I know better, and the manager did. You know, and you always wonder about stuff like that. There's always that one person who just...
But just something that you said or something you did?
Something I did.
Okay.
I won't go into it. Maybe I was a little wrong.
What did you do?
Nothing. I didn't do anything.
Well, you got to say it now.
I didn't do anything.
Well, it's obviously something to be still in your mind.
I might have said something about his sister.
About his sister?
Well, that's not really anything anti-American, is it?
No, nothing un-American about that at
Again,
all.
it goes back to personal. That's a personal attack.
What? I didn't know he actually had a sister.
So that makes it okay?
I thought so.
And also, too, you know what? There are people that are going to make mistakes, and if they realize it's a mistake, and they try to either learn from it or you know, pay whatever consequences there are that are kind of behind it, and it's not if it's going to ruin the world or ruin them or their sister or whatever. You know what I mean? And then you know what? It's get over it.
So Mel, I have a question for you. Are you ready? Are you there? Hello? Did we just lose her all the middle of nowhere? No? Yeah. We did? Okay, fine. No problem. I got to play this anyway. Mel, if you're listening, I'm sure you are. We just got disconnected on us by accident here. Turn me up over there, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a second because I want to play this here. Mel, the question is to you, I know you used to be a fat girl, so I want to know how that impacted your love life when you were overweight. Got a little thing on here I was wanting to go into. It's a group of girls sitting around talking about how fatness, affects their self-esteem and love. Right.
Oh yeah, it's more difficult for females than it is males to be fat and find love.
Sure, I'm sure there are a lot of you out there right now wondering why I'm going into this, because I feel like sometimes our female listeners are not catered to enough. So I felt like this would be a nice way of talking to them and letting them know that we are thinking about them.
All right, but
something for the women to learn.
All right, before we go into fat girls, don't Brandon told me from thebarlive.com owner to make sure to go to the Facebook page, the Bar Live page, and on there's a looks like a poll. You can vote on the hottest girl in DFW. Go there and you can register your vote for the hottest girls and see lots of hot girls on there.
Any fat girls on there?
I don't think so.
Damn.
Okay, that plug's done. Okay, back to fat girls.
All right. And go. And
it's not going to work. You know that, right? So what were they basically saying?
I don't know. I'm just going to try it again and see what happens.
So
keep it up a second here.
Is what I think is with fat. Obviously, fat girls have got to have better personalities. Got to suck a real good one. You know what I mean?
Really?
But then again, there's
it's nothing about that. It's actually supposed to be taken seriously. Why is it that I don't understand why they have these two. All right.
Let's talk about love.
It's like 4 minutes and 13 seconds long. I'm going to take a quick little break here.
Really weigh in your dating life. Oh.
Working.
I'm going to toast to you guys because thank you for having a transparent conversation. I already know that this is a group of ladies who can be real. So I'm bringing up this question because I've talked to so many women who are in different
Man, there's some fat girls in that room.
Well, for me, I've always been a fluffy chick.
Oh, she's fluffy, all right.
I'm fluffy.
No, I mean, she's fluffy.
You can be thick, I'm fluffy.
All right.
It's me. I own it.
How has it affected, or has it affected your dating life?
It's affected the men that approach me. We can categorize it. We have the chubby chasers. We have the down low chubby daters.
Curious as to what that is. Download. What is that? What do you
think?
No,
that's what it is. Like whenever a guy likes chubby girls, but they try to keep it, on the down
on the
low.
down. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
The ones that
only in the house.
Exactly.
To hide it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we have those that think they smell the desperation on you, so they want to holler at you to come over later on that night.
Yeah, they're called the idiots.
It's hard for a girl.
Tell you what, they probably smell something on her. I'll tell you that right now. Some of them fat girls.
My size to find a guy that wants to be with you for who you are. I mean, I know I'm fun. Right. Give a girl who's bigger a chance because Lord knows I'm going to go have a steak dinner and the chick you're dating that's a size 2 is going to have a salad and she's not going to be happy because she's hungry.
Well, for me, I'm always saying, I need to give me...
the one skinny bitch in the room. They got one skinny bitch in the room. The whole room, one skinny bitch.
And you know,
Well, can I borrow your boobs? You know, just for the night, because I date black men. That's what I prefer. And most
too.
black men like a curvier, fluffier type of girl. I'm not gonna go buy no boobs. I'm not gonna inject no Kim Kardashian booty. I'm not gonna go do anything that's not who I am. I'm gonna get a little push-up bra, maybe stuff a little, keep it pushing.
I wish we could all just take a day. Let me just try your body out. You can try mine out. And you know what I'm saying? I'll let you try yours out too.
I know you lost a significant amount of weight.
Recently, being healthy from the inside out is tremendously different than just being like, I'm cute, I don't care what it is.
In high school, I was a lot chubbier, and now I'm a lot skinnier, and people are seeing me differently. I want to be known for my personality.
You think she's got those flaps?
What do you mean?
You know, fat girl turns into a skinny girl, and they get the flap.
Yeah, you get the flaps
You know
everywhere. I wonder, like, yeah, if they, because you know when they get bigger, you know what I mean. Everything else gets bigger. I just wonder if, like, you know, kind of like whenever people get loose skin when they lose weight.
Yeah.
If their labias start, look like pterodactyl, you know what I mean?
Wow, like
wings.
Right, like little arms coming out.
Yeah, if they got to get that cut off too.
Like the little dinosaur, you know, the little dinosaur on that movie. What was that?
They're all veiny.
Jurassic Park. Is that the Velociraptor?
No, on the cartoon where his arms were too small and he couldn't reach anything. Anyway, it looked like that coming out at you.
You talking about Kenny the Shark?
I don't know, man. It was a dinosaur. Never mind.
Barney.
So this is what it sounds like when fat chicks are sitting around talking about weight, right?
And it's so funny because you know those skinny girls are happy that they're skinny, and the big girls, you know what I mean? They talk a big game. You know, I'm proud of them for standing their ground and being happy as they're big. You know what I mean? But you know, you can't tell me that there's moments in time that go across where if somebody were to ask them, not here in the conversation, but just privately to themselves, just say, okay, if you had to choose, would you want to be skinny like this girl over here, or would you be happy with being fat? Don't tell me that there's sometimes that they wish that they were skinny.
Well, where is Mel in a moment like this? Mel, call back. Jeff, tell her to call back.
Call back, Mel.
Thank you, I appreciate that. She always does it when he asks her, but she never does it when I ask her.
Oh, right on. But you know,
you ever dated a fat girl?
Yeah, actually, my two first girlfriends were kind of big girls.
Kind of. What's kind of? Is that like 170 or like 240 blood dial?
I would say 150, 160. This is like in junior high though. So
Junior high
and high school. Yeah.
That's a bigger. Was it in Mexican girls?
No, both white girls.
Tongan.
No, one girl is super sweet, and I broke her heart, and I feel bad to this day about that.
Well, what was it? You couldn't perform or anything like that? Was that
no. It was one of the type of things to where, like, I had a party at my house, and this skinny hot girl liked me, so I dumped her at my party. And I seriously, I still feel like shit to this day.
It's like nobody else would have you, and then all of a sudden the skinny white girl paid some attention to you, and you're like, hey, let me get rid of this white fat chick, all right?
And then she pretty much dumped me after the party, and so then, I had this girl that was like, no, I'm not going back with you, screw that. And you know what I mean? And I didn't blame her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she'd had enough of you.
Exactly.
She wasn't going to let you in the rolls no more.
Not at all.
The folds were closed.
But she did have a nice yellow Datsun.
Really?
Because she was 16 and I was
cruising in the Datsun.
I was 16 and I was no, she was 16 and I was 15, so I couldn't drive yet.
Did you listen to this video, Mel?
I did. It just sounded like a bunch of chicken-headed hoes babbling.
Chicken-headed hoes?
Yeah.
Chicken-headed hoes.
Yep.
I've never heard that one before. Now, how big were you? You say you're a fat girl. Let's talk pounds. Pound for pound, how big was Mel? How much?
250 pounds.
Jesus, that's a Volkswagen Bug.
I was a big bitch.
Damn right. How would you have that big ass, or was it just like a little bitty ass and a big belly, or what was it?
No,
How do you look when you're fat? Which part of you sticks out further than the rest?
I was just round. I was like, I had huge boobs though, massive boobs.
What size?
They were like 42 double F. Like they were huge,
Jeez.
like massive.
No wonder she could shoot that milk out like half a mile. She was telling us. Did you weigh that much when you were shooting milk?
What is going on with the phone?
I don't know. I'm asking if you're shooting milk. You're talking about the phone.
Look, it was like cutting in and out, and that's why I lost you last time.
Oh, I don't know. It could have been the internet connection. Or Balls Deep may have done something to his computer.
At that point in time, no, I wasn't shooting milk. Like, I was bigger, and then after I got
Okay.
well, I was bigger when I was
42.
pregnant.
Hang on. What is
and
it?
then stayed big for a while.
42 double Fs. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's like two of those stuffed animals right
My God, that's like taker trunk tits.
Yeah.
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 Damn.
And they shrank back down, like, fairly well,
I mean,
but
if she
they
were
still...
if she were to like spin around, she could take out a few people. She didn't have a shirt on.
Ninja boob.
Yeah, ninja boobs. That's what they were. They were ninja boobs. Could squirt milk out.
See, again with the phone.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the phone, honey.
We
Just
can hear you.
relax. We can hear
We
you.
can hear you
I
just
can't
fine.
hear what you're saying.
Well, that's probably a good thing. All right. So, how did that affect your relationships as a fat girl? Because there's a lot of girls that listen to our show that may be plus size, fluffy, large, fat.
Well, I had a guy who didn't really care about the fact that I was fat. And, I mean, I kind of dealt with it that way.
Can I ask a question?
And then,
Was he a little strange?
well, yeah, he beat the shit out of me, so does that make him strange?
Yeah, probably he was pretty strange.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
I mean,
is it normal for?
emotion-
I don't understand the chubby chaser thing.
What do you say? You say he bit or hit?
Beat.
He beat the crap. He broke my face at one point.
Broke her.
Put me in the hospital.
Broke her face.
Who went back and broke his face?
No one.
Really? I would send someone over to do that now. Like years later. You want hey,
Just
bam, bam, bam.
randomly.
Yeah, exactly. Just off the cuff, beat the hell out of him.
Find his address for me. Me and Chloe go over there and pay him a visit.
He did it fairly regularly, and then the last time he fractured my eye socket and
Which one
put
of
me in
y'all?
hospital.
Which one of y'all farted in here? I want to know that right now.
Wasn't me.
But he was very big on the emotional abuse. Like, I wasn't worthy, which is why I stayed fat for as long as what I did.
Well, I thought you said it didn't matter to him if you were
didn't,
fat or not.
But he would treat me like I couldn't get any better than him.
Well, did you
Because I
feel
was-
like you couldn't get any better than him?
Huh?
Did you feel like you couldn't get any better than him?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what does that tell you?
That he was extremely controlling and extremely abusive.
Exactly. He was taking advantage of everything that he could take advantage of because he was controlling and abusive. Yeah.
Yes,
So
but
I mean,
even now, like, I don't.
but
see
that's not
myself-
where. That's honestly, I'm sorry that happened to you, but that's not really where I wanted to go with it. I was just wondering if he was a weird guy in the sense that I really have never met a true chubby chaser unless he was a black guy.
Well, no. I mean,
I know a lot of black guys that are chubby chasers. They're
I
friends of mine.
I got a friend of mine, he's a white guy. He loves big girls.
He's white?
White?
I know a Mexican guy too that's a big chubby chaser. He loves the big girls. He likes that
yeah,
ass.
but they like the asses. That's what their thing is.
Yeah,
is
for
they
some
like
reason
the
that
ass.
they like, oh, I want to wear that as a hat. I'm like, oh man, no, don't say that. Tell them what's been in that thing.
Well, there's certain big girls, like, I like big girls as long as they don't have. I mean, like, I'm just speaking from my own personal preference. Like big girls as long as they don't have like a big belly. You know what I mean? If they have a nice flat belly, big butt. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, when they've got the flap like Dave, it's not a good look.
Look, you don't know.
I like how she says that. She's laughing at herself.
You know, I know. Look, when I'm doing you from behind, you're not gonna know I got a flap anyway. So.
Yeah, because the flap rests on the back. Remember, that's what you said. You had to lift the flap up and put it on the back in order to be able to do it.
Yeah, you got a good little TV tray that I can put it on there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Put it on your back, little TV tray for me.
If there's only like
Put me a
one
little- put me a
part
little
of
glass-
fat that I want near me, and it's got nothing to do with your belly.
Put me a little glass of milk and further up on her back, and cookie on the other side.
Oh no, like we were saying, AdamandEve.com's got to come up with some sort of like fat strap.
We were talking about that, the belly sling thing.
The belly sling.
You can just
There
kind
you
of
go.
like hoik it up. I need to get you some Spanx, Dave. That's what I need to do.
I don't know what a spank is. Once again, we're going off the subject, but please enlighten me. What are spanks?
Spanks are like, they suck you in, so it'll like suck your belly and make you look slimmer.
It's kind of like a low-key girdle for your body, for body parts.
Yep.
Really? And you want me? So you want me to wear a girdle?
Well, no, it's not a girdle.
Bullshit! It's a stupid. It's a girdle.
Well, you know
would
what?
you wear it?
It's not. Hell yeah, I would.
Bullshit!
I want one of those shirts. You know what I mean, to kind of slim down. The belly and stuff.
Well,
Hell
wait.
yeah.
We're talking about a guy who does his toenails. What am I asking?
Love one of those things. What it is basically, it's basically kind of like the same material as like biker shorts or whatever, spandex.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to wear either way, spandex or a girdle? You want me to wear it?
You wear it underneath. No one will ever know.
Dude, I will know. I will feel. I have to adjust my balls at least 17 times a day. Now I can only imagine what it would be like if I had a damn girdle or spandex on. That would be hurting like crazy.
It's not a girdle. They're kind of like, bike pants. They're like bike pants, except they just go up further.
Okay,
and it would,
just
like,
give
go
it up.
Under your boobs.
No, give it up. I'm not gay. I won't wear them. That's the answer.
But you're bisexual, so that we have a chance.
Look, we can put it on. Okay,
you
fine.
don't need one time. I took these things.
I'm not bisexual, and we can put it on our transsexual that comes in if you want to.
I'm sure they'll have their own spanks.
Okay, yeah, that's just disturbing. Nobody's still gotten me a hot enough transsexual. I'm telling you, if you get me a hot enough, I'm not bisexual, but I'm telling you, I still hold that true to that. If you find me a hot enough bisexual, if you find me a hot enough transsexual, I will. I'll take a look.
Well,
bisexual, I can call any hot-blooded male that I have in my phone right now and ask them if there was a transsexual standing in front of them, whether they would want to see the junk or not, and the immediate answer would be no. You are curious, which means you've got a tendency of being bisexual.
To me, it's like, okay, look, let me try to explain this once and for all. It's not a sexual thing for me. For me, it's more of a museum-ish kind of feel. It's like, wow, being able to see those and that all in one picture. Now, that's a sight to behold.
Well, there's websites for that.
Well, I've never seen it in person. I'm just curious as to, does it really exist? Was that Photoshop?
Again, I could call any male that I have in my phone right now, and there would be absolutely zero curiosity. Zero.
Okay, fine. Well, that doesn't mean I want to bang a transsexual.
You want to touch it.
I'm curious as to what it looks like together in real life, in 3D.
You wanted to touch it. You said you would grab
I wanted to touch the boobs
and the junk.
I
at
wanted
the same time.
I said I want to touch the boobs. You guys said to touch the junk.
You did.
I don't want
and
to.
we have it recorded.
No, I'm going on. I'm moving on now. What were we talking about? Oh yeah,
touching men's junk.
Yeah, we were talking about your fat ass. Okay, show.
Previous fat ass.
Previous fat ass. So other than that, you didn't have any problems. Okay, so moving right along, Chloe, you dated a couple of fat girls that didn't go so well for you. I've never dated a fat. Jeff, balls deep. I'm sure you've done a few fat girls in your life. Any Amish chicks in your past?
No Amish chicks, but no, I've dated fat girls before.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a fat girl guy?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just whatever says yes.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. There we go. I knew it. He's a chubby chaser.
Yeah, I mean,
you like that big ass. Will you wear it as a hat?
No, that's weird.
Come on, man. No, you would, wouldn't you?
No, there's...
Things got a little crazy, and all of a sudden, the size 16 panties came down.
See, at this point, since you put out there publicly...
I can't breathe, but keep going.
Since you put out there publicly, Jeff, whoever you date now, if they're kind of a bigger girl, you're going to have to convince them that, you know what, no, you know what, we've been dating 6 months, I love you for you, and not just because you're just the best I can get.
Exactly. You're right, because if they hear this show now, they're going to think that, you just never found that right Amish chick.
Yeah, but see, big bitches put out.
They are givers. They are really generous.
It's because they don't get any.
Right. They don't get it, so they put out a lot. So,
and that's the reason why you should try me. guys, big guys, are the same way.
I was about to say that is true. As guys,
we are givers, Mel. Why don't you try? Why don't you try me and Balls Deep in the same room together?
But I don't think she's desperate like that though. She's not a big girl anymore.
No.
She's still got her imperfections.
I'm quite happy with my toys from adamandeve.com. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
They satisfy me just as I'm good.
Yeah, but you can't have those pictures in your head all the time.
I don't want a picture of you coming anywhere near me in my head.
Can't have that video we were going to make together.
There will be no video, ever. Like, ever.
Put it on.
There's one thing that I never do is take photos while doing sex. Like, ever.
If you pay me, Dave, I can Photoshop you,
Really?
and,
You can do that?
you and Mel together.
I got you.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll grab your didgeridoo and...
Have you ever made
throw
a
it in
sex
there
tape?
Who, you?
No, you, Clo, Balls Deep. Have any of you ever made a sex tape?
Oh, yeah, I made a few back in the day.
And you're not frightened that they may pop up at some point?
Pop up?
Not really, because my face is not in it. Anything that my face was in was destroyed whenever VHS was popular.
Yeah, but you have those beautiful blue toenails, so I'm sure someone would notice them.
This was pre-blue toenails.
You went there last night?
Yep, and that's another reason I
Go ahead.
don't have any tattoos either. So just in case.
And by the way, you're missing out tonight too. By the way, Mel, we've got I brought some Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey tonight.
Oh, you suck.
Yeah, it is really good. It's smooth. It's like
honey.
It's like my wife's vagina.
Oh my God.
Sweet.
Okay, I'm finishing the rest of the Jack
Tasty.
Jack Daniel's honey.
That was perfect timing then, Clo.
It's very good. All right, so how about you, Balls D? You ever done one?
No, never.
Does it bother you when I call you Balls D?
No.
I'll call you Amish.
I think he's used to it now. He's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, never made a tape. Just for the reasons Mel just said, is I don't want it coming back. Because I've dated girls where they're like, hey, you want to see some pictures? And I'm like, no, I really don't want to see pictures of your ex-boyfriend's junk. And so I don't want to be caught in that situation. So no recording devices allowed.
I've made one video.
Well, that's another question. Would you send
See, she totally missed it.
photos of, like, your junk via texts and stuff like that?
I said I made a video.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in you.
I'm going to tell you about my video.
That just makes me want to vomit.
Did it happen in the Geo where you made the video? The Geo video?
Actually, the Geo's in the background. We're in the woods. It was like a deliverance kind of thing. Except there wasn't other men there.
I was gonna say.
Isn't deliverance just about men?
No, but the girls were dressed.
Again, with the bisexual tendencies.
I was dressed like a pig. I had a little snowy time.
Isn't there a famous quote from that movie?
Squeal like a pig?
Yeah.
Okay.
Squeal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Does that turn you on a little bit?
No.
If I squeal like a pig, will it turn you on?
No. Like, really? Just no.
It sounds
There are
like a
certain
pig.
noises that can be made during sex, but being told to squeal like a pig is really not a turn on.
Well, I'll tell you what. A lot of people ask me questions throughout the history of my life. The question is that I get a lot is, Big Dave, how do you keep your skin so silky smooth? Well, tonight I'm going to tell you how I'm able to do that. I'm going to help you guys out with doing that. In the show today, I'm going to give you a few pointers on how you can keep your skin as silky smooth as my own.
Please tell me there's no, body function stuff like there was the other week.
I don't think so.
Oh, God.
Whether your skin is oily, tight, shiny, or super sensitive, we'll show you how to get your gorgeous glow back. All right, I'll tell you what. Maybe this is one of your complaints, Mel. My skin is oily and flaky. Here's
Well,
a way
how can it be both?
It can happen. One way you can prevent this is to use a face wash with 2% salicylic acid or the standard strength of oil fighter on your forehead, nose, and chin. Okay, this is important. You got to do that. Skip the cheeks and just splash a little bit with warm water before bed. Trace your T-zone. You know where that is, right? Above your eyebrows and right here on the top of your nose. And put a little bit of that serum on there. Oil is less likely to take a shine to healthy skin. Excuse me.
Your T-zone. How do you know about the T-zone?
Well, because I take care of my skin. Apply an oil-free. What? What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Mel laughing.
Maybe you say to yourself, my face feels tight. Yeah, I've had this problem before. It's okay. I can tell you how to prevent it. Hot water and soapy detergents are good for laundry, but bad for your dry skin. Leaving it a little too squeaky clean can make it dry, okay? Rinse with lukewarm H2 water, a milky cleanser that won't strip your skin's natural oils. And one of the things you can buy that'll help this is this brand called Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. It's like $8 in Yahoo Shopping, so you can check that out. All right.
Actually, Cetaphil does rock.
It's some pretty good stuff, especially for your skin when you have that tight skin feel.
I'm just like amazed. I'm like going, it's quite the knowledge of skin products there, Dave.
Well,
Just saying.
Again,
sometimes I like to surprise
bisexual
people.
tendencies, just throwing it out there.
Mel, this may be for you. Sometimes you just say to yourself, I am a shiny mess by 2 p.m.
What causes a shiny mess?
Oh, it's Mel. Her and her toys. And shiny
Oil.
Oil. Spooge. All that kind of stuff. Try a gel-based cleanser cream, Mel. This will help, okay? A heavy.
There's no spooge coming near my face.
I didn't say anything about spooge today. A heavy-hitting exfoliant that penetrates deeply, washing away oil hiding out in pores. Then dab a mattifying gel all over to absorb the shine. Says me. That's what you're gonna do. One of the good things you can use for this here is Peter Thomas Roth Max Anti-Shine Mattifying Gel. You can get it for like $34 at endlessbeautycare.com. Also, sunblock is still a must-look for anybody. Be sure to use sunblock. It's good for your skin. One of the best ones is La Roche. That's a great one. It's $35. Here's another one that may be your problem. I'm red and I'm not blushing. You ever had that problem, Mel?
Not on my face.
Yeah, you've had it on your face. Super sensitive skin is quick to red and avoid suds and cleansers and hard detergents. Your best bet is a face wash and a deep labeled soap free. So there you go. There's a really good way for yourself to keep your face looking great even after a hardcore sex romp.
Okay, so just to be clear, crystal clear.
And the best thing you can buy
There's
is
never any bodily fluids ever coming near my face, ever.
Chloe, have you ever had that before?
Not in my face. Can't
Balls
say that
deep.
I have.
Balls deep.
I want to go back to what Chloe said. Not in your face.
I've had chicks squirt on me before, but
Oh,
that's
I
about
was
it.
gonna say, have you never had
Oh, yeah.
eaten a girl out and she's squirted on your face?
I haven't.
Yeah, that's happened before, and it wasn't too pleasurable. Personally, I use cat butt.
Is that what it is? Cat butt?
Cat butt soap.
Is this hand soap?
Yeah.
Is it good for your entire body or just?
Yeah. What is if you have
Just your face.
if you have oily skin, it's perfect.
Cat butt.
Cat butt. It's like a lotion, just like a lotion soap.
Why is there a dildo in the cat's ass on this picture?
I photoshopped that in there.
Did you really?
For effect. Yeah.
That's a really big thing to put in a cat's ass.
But that's.
Don't you have a cat?
Yeah, but I used
Chaos.
I used
I'm
I
a
used
little
a stunt
worried
cat.
about. Okay, you didn't.
No, not my own cat. No, no cats.
Mel, we
were-
gotta go.
No cats were harmed in the making of that photo.
Hang up, Mel. I gotta close out the show.
Okay, bye boys, love ya. I'll see you next week.
See you, Mel.
Turn up my music over there. So let me get this straight. You were sitting here looking at this gel, right?
Yeah.
And you said to yourself,
I ordered it from fab.com. Yes.
You said to yourself, I want to Photoshop this cat on here with a giant, looks like a...
It's a rhino dildo.
Okay, that's what it is. It's
Yes.
the rhino. That's what threw me off.
Yeah, I
'Cause
can't. I
haven't
can't
seen the
remember where
rhino.
I found that, and I hope that no one searches my Google search history.
But
Just
what's
saying.
really disturbing is it looks like this cat's really enjoying it. He's got this big smile on his face, and it almost looks like he's like wallowing in catnip with that thing up there.
You know, that's what I was thinking too when I was photoshopping the picture. I'm just saying.
This is Big Dave reminding you to always neuter and spade your pets. Control the pet population. Also, be sure to have sex on a regular basis and keep your balls to yourself unless you know who you're with. Until next week, folks, the Big Dave and Clo Show.